Good evening, all, and welcome to Hamish's super secret extra special video hello to special people what have sent me actual physical Christmas cards. Those of you who haven't had this before in the last couple of years may not be aware of it, but basically I partly for environmental reasons, but mostly because I am incredibly rubbish, don't really send physical Christmas cards. I put up a little cartoony, sketchy thing and copy the link to people as best I can. And in general, that's my kind of Christmas interaction with folk. But those of you who have taken the time and effort to post something to me, I really do appreciate it, obviously. And so you get a video of me wearing the Christmassiest item of headgear that I own, which is a promotional item for Black Aftershock liqueur that I somehow woke up in possession of on, I think, Christmas Day 2006, 2007. It was the day that Scott Elder back in Peoples proposed to his wife after waking up on the couch because he and I had gone out on the Randan, and we both woke up with one of these and a stonking hangover. And Scott then thought, I know what I'll do. I'll propose. Bless him. Anyway, that's the backstory to the hat. Interesting and informative as that is. I have just looked through my 2010 diary to see what I did over the past year, if there was anything interesting to tell you about. Apparently I've been quite busy. It's quite scary going through it and seeing just how ridiculous a schedule I've had. It's been a fun year, ignoring for the most part the worky stuff because you're not going to be that interested, or you're going to know all too much about it one way or t'other. I have this year walked across Scotland from Fort William to Inverness, which we rather stupidly did in March. That was one of the coldest experiences of my life, camping at the side of a canal on the Great Glen just over 9 months ago. Wasn't a good idea to have tents with us, and we ended up hosteling or B&Bing for the rest of the week. But it was a wonderful walk with my good friends Tiger and Possum, as they were known. We had walking names. I was Wolf, Tiger was Dougal, and Possum was Pablo. We did that in 4.5 days, which apparently for healthy people is quite a good time, and obviously you can see from the chubbiness of the cheeks that I'm back up to my winter weight, and healthy isn't really a word that would apply. Certainly it didn't back in March, but we made good time. We ached terribly by the end of it, but good time had by all. Then in tail end of April, start of May-ish time, I went to Canada and had an absolutely wonderful experience. I'm now the furthest travelled member of my known family, pretty much. Nobody else has left Europe, really, so that was quite exciting, going over to Vancouver and Salt Spring Island, where we met Vic and Vi amongst others. Hello. Really wonderful time with Dave and Kelly's wedding, and was an honour to be part of that. And to be able now to claim that I am an internationally renowned wedding singer, having sung the Freedom Camogie at weddings on 2 continents. And nobody threw anything at me on either of those occasions. So there you go. Other than that, just been running around. Had one more wee break up to Nigmains, which is just north of the Cromarty Firth in Scotland. Over my left shoulder, there's a map of Europe, which is mostly glossed out with light shining on it. So yeah, Nigmains is not too far from, well, up above. Yeah, up there. There's kind of Sweden and Norway. It's closer to there than it is to Dundee, just about. Yeah, me and some pals had a cottage up there, which is great fun. I rather stupidly then drove back from there to Dundee to perform a baby naming ceremony as a celebrant, which I'm not actually entirely trained or qualified to do, but it seemed to go down pretty well, for even while you've well. Again, nobody threw anything at me, which is a pretty reasonable assessment of acceptable performance. And yeah, named baby Kira, and then drove all the way back up to, well, Inverness. And yeah, that wasn't a good idea to do that in a day. Don't recommend it. I also don't recommend then telling wee Jo that she can drive your car from that point onwards, because she gets a bit confused about whether she's on a single or dual carriageway, and you really don't want to confuse those two things on roads you don't know at night, with traffic coming towards you in what you thought was the overtaking lane of a dual carriageway. Anyway, such is life. Nobody died. That's the main thing. Nobody was actually injured, although I was very scared. And yeah, it was a great weekend otherwise. I did have a month. Well, most of you'll know that I've been off the booze since November 2008 mostly, but between while I was over in Canada, I had a week on it, and then between Ian Petrie's stag do and that kind of weekend of birthday-ish celebrations for me, I wasn't teetotal. I wasn't drinking the whole time, obviously, but I did have a few drinks, which was nice. Some nice beer. Visited the Black Ale Brewery up there, and they do some pretty top stuff. You also get a tour of the barn with kind of 4 great big metal tubs in it, and then you see the bottling factory, which is a back room of the barn with another tub and a hose and some bottles, and it's just somebody kind of shoving a hose over a bottle, filling it, and then somebody else stamps a cap onto it, which is pretty awesome to realise how simply it's done on kind of microbrewery scale, although they've got a far bigger brewery that they're opening now. Yeah, anyway, I'm waffling about breweries and stuff. It's been a wonderful year from the social point of view. Met some wonderful people, made some great friends. Several wonderful weddings throughout the year. One christening, one baby naming ceremony that I performed, one baby naming ceremony that I didn't perform, which I saw before, and yeah, definitely waffling now. Lots of fun. Anyway, I love you all deeply. Thank you so much for your cards, they mean a lot. Hopefully I will see all of you over 2011, but a very Merry Christmas to all of you, a happy and prosperous New Year, or as close to that as it can be if you're somebody who works in the public sector as I do. It may not be prosperous at all, I'm afraid. going to have our own unique set of challenges facing us in the coming year. But yes, happy thoughts for this. So thank you everybody. James and Laura, yes, I'll do my best to be there because James and Laura in their Christmas card also included a wedding invitation, and fingers crossed I'll make it. Love, light and peace to all, and to all a good night. Thank you.